Hello everyone and Merry Christmas. My name is Amber and welcome to another Stellar Guitarist guitar tutorial. For this song, you're going to need to have your guitar in standard tuning and we are not going to need a capo for this specific song. So grab your guitar and get into the festive spirit with me. Let's get going. So we're going to start by learning that strumming pattern. This is going to be used throughout the entire song and it sounds something like this. Down, down, up, down, up. Down, down, up, down, up. And we're going to count it 1, 2, and 3 and. And if I play it in a loop, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. So this song has a waltz-like feel to it, and a great way to really make sure that comes across in your strumming pattern is to accent that first down strum. 1, 2, and 3 and. 1, 2, and 3 and. 1, 2, and 3 and. This is really going to bring across that swaying feel that is so important when playing the song on your guitar. Let's jump into learning the chords that we need in the verse of the song. So the first chord we're going to need is an A major chord. We're then going to need an A sus2, and the way we form that is we can lift up our ring finger off of that A chord. So we make sure that that B string is ringing open. We're then going to be going to an A sus4 chord, and we're going to put our pinky onto the B string and we're going to place it in the 3rd fret. Back to the A chord again. Now each of those chords is going to need 1 round of that strumming pattern. So it's going to sound like this. The next line of chords are going to be quite tricky if you are a beginner, but you can just do your best. The first chord we need is a B minor chord, and unfortunately for this song we need to play a full bar chord version. So we have B minor. The next chord we need is called a B sus2, and for this one we're just going to be lifting up our middle finger and we're going to just be playing with the bar chord and our 3rd and 4th fingers down. Next we have a B sus4. And for this, we can lift up our bar off all the strings except for the 5th string. Make sure you're keeping that 1st finger down just on the 5th string. And strumming. So the B and E strings are going to be ringing open. So this is our B sus4, and then we're going to go back to a B minor chord. So the second line of chords is going to sound like this. Really quite tricky, but if you keep practicing it, I'm sure you're going to be able to get it right. Moving on into the next line of chords, we're going to be using an E shape here. So we're going to be forming an E chord, and we need an E sus4. So we're going to take our pinky and we're going to put it into the 2nd fret on the G string. Then we can remove it for the E. And then our next chord is an E add 9 chord. Now this is a really tricky chord to get right, but you can only do your best. What we're going to be doing is you're going to take your ring finger off of that E chord shape, and we're going to stretch our pinky into the 4th fret on the D string. And then we're going to go back to an E. So that line of chords sounds like this. The 4th line of chords is the same as the 1st line of chords. So we're going to move on to learning the 5th line, which is going to be using a D major chord shape. So we have D first. We're then going to go to a D sus2. Where we're going to lift our middle finger up off the string. Then we're going to go to a D sus4 and we're going to place our pinky onto the E string in the 3rd fret before moving back to the D chord. So that line is going to sound like this. The sixth line of chords revolves around the E minor chord shape, and I want you to play your E minor with your first and second fingers for this specific version of the song. So we have E minor first. We're then going to have an E minor add 9. So this is quite similar to the shape we played earlier with the E. We're going to stretch our pinky into the 4th fret on the D. And to get this right, you might want to lift your middle finger off the string so that you don't have to have this very awkward stretch. If you lift your middle finger off, you can actually get way more stretch in. So you're only going to have your first finger and your 4th fingers down. This is going to be your E minor add 9. Then we're going to go to an E sus4 chord, which we can play with our first, second, and third fingers down. We're kind of creating an A shape, but we're playing it on the A, D, and G strings. Before going back to the E minor, which we need to just lift off our ring finger. So the sixth line of chords is going to sound like this. Then our seventh line of chords is going to be revolving around that A major chord shape, but instead of starting on the A major chord shape, we're going to be starting this line of chords on the A sus4 shape. We're then going to go to the A, to the A sus2, and then back to the A again. And then the final line of chords is the exact same as the fifth line of chords. So that is it for the verse. In total, it's going to sound like this, starting on that A major. A 1, 2, 3. Now, if that was too difficult for you, then I have a much simpler way that you can actually play the song, especially if you've just started out or you're wanting to play and sing at the same time, which can be quite tricky. So up on the screen, you will see the chords. We're going to be needing an A, a B minor. You can also play my easy B minor, where you don't need to put a bar and we just put our first finger down in the 2nd fret on the high E string. We then need an E to an A. We then have a D major, an E minor to A, and to D again. Now, what we're going to be doing is we're going to be playing through each of those chords 4 times with a strumming pattern. So it's going to sound like this. A 1, 2, 3. That's going to lead us really nicely into the chorus. If you are enjoying today's lesson and you're finding value in the content and you are feeling in the Christmas spirit, please could you like this video and subscribe to my channel. I'd absolutely love to welcome you into the Stellar community. Right, let's get back into the lesson. Moving on to learning the chords that we need in the chorus. They're very straightforward and relatively easy to play. So the first chord we're going to need is a G major chord, which we're going to play for 4 rounds of the strumming pattern. We're then going to go to an A, which we're also going to play for 4 rounds of the strumming pattern. We then have E minor for 2 rounds, G for 2 rounds, we're going to have D for 2 rounds, and we're going to have an E7 chord for 2 rounds. Now an E7 chord is like a normal E, except we just lift our ring finger off of the string. So in total, the chorus is going to sound like this. A 1, 2, 3. Switch to A. Now we have E minor coming up. It's G. And to D. And to E7. So those are all the parts of the song. In the next part of this lesson, I'll be doing a mini playthrough. Feel free to play it back as many times as you need to. Let's get into it. Let's take it from the top, starting on that A. So this is Christmas, and what have you done? Another year over, the new one just begun. So this is Christmas, I hope you have fun. The near and the dear ones, the old and the young. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. And so this is Christmas, the weak and for strong, the rich and the poor ones. The road is so long, and so happy Christmas for black and for white, for yellow and red ones. Let's stop all the fights. A very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Let's hope it's a good one without any fear. Thank you so much for watching today's tutorial. I really hope that you enjoyed today's lesson. If you enjoy my teaching style over here on YouTube, then I know you're absolutely going to love my program, the Stellar Academy. The program is designed to get you playing all your favorite songs with confidence. So if you want to learn more about that, then click the link below this video and I would love to welcome you on board. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a wonderful festive season. See you in the next lesson. Bye.